Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! Yo!
Hey.
Yo, I can see you, little buddy.
All right.
There he is. All right, cool, man. Dude, thanks for doing this. I think it'll be awesome. Just as I'm talking to more people about Lightbox and they're asking me, what can we expect from it? I'm trying to tell them stuff. I thought it'd be awesome just to have you on. We'll get started and I'll just start just shooting off and ask you whatever and we'll chime in and we'll do what we do.
Sounds good.
All right. So today I'm here with my great friend, and I honestly can say I don't really have too many. I got friends, but I don't have great close friends like I consider you, Bobby. Bobby Chu, a man that doesn't need too much explanation. You know, you came into this industry and you took it by storm, and now you created something awesome. Lightbox Expo happening September 6th through 8th at the Pasadena Convention Center. And I wanted just to kind of talk to you today, just because I get a lot of people just asking me and saying, hey, Steven, what should I expect at Lightbox Expo? What can we expect? Well, and I thought it'd be an awesome moment and time just to talk to you about just, how it kind of like, what made you kind of really want to do this? I know you've been talking about this for a long time, and just the importance of just connecting. And you've always been so good at connecting with everyone ever since I've known you. I mean, I've known you now for, what is it? Like schoolism started, 11 years ago?
14
years ago. Holy moly.
Facebook. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Back then, people were still nervous to use PayPal. If you could believe that.
So that's what I like. It's just like, and you just kind of like, you just started stuff. I remember when I first met you at New York Comic Con and I drew a caricature of you and Kay, and that was the first year of New York Comic Con, I think. That was the first year New York Comic Con ever did anything. And just meeting you, and what was amazing, I just have to say this, that there was this time I was working at Nickelodeon Studios at the time. I was on Danny Phantom, but I just remember there was something inside me that I knew there was something greater that I wanted to do within my own life. And then you came and you were talking about this schoolism idea. I remember we were at Alberto Ruiz's place in New York and you're saying, the schoolism and this is how it's gonna kind of be, and you're showing us, and it's like, it's kind of cool, it didn't really know what it even meant really back then, but then it just became this like thing that it was something that I needed to do in my life. I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted. I wanted something more in my life at that moment. And then you said, hey, would you be a schoolism teacher? And at that moment, everything sort of changed and we connected and we've been good friends ever since. And again, what I love about what you always do and have always done is you just take initiative. And that's the thing. And with the Lightbox, with the schoolism, with everything that you've done. So, with that, like, what was what is it about that Lightbox that you kind of really want to get across to everyone as you're creating this? You're doing this. This would be fascinating too for people who think everything's impossible. Start your own convention. That's crazy. How are you going to start your own convention? But you're doing it. So what is it, the whole process been like for you?
So a bunch of different things. I think it would be important to start off with the why, right? Because that's always like the number one thing that people ask me, studios ask me, I want them to be a part of this new event. Well, why should we be a part of your event? So I think to really understand that is to go back a bunch of years and perhaps even before we met. I have 0 artists in my family that I know of. I'm the only one, but I have a buttload of teachers and people in the educational space, from aunts and uncles that were principals and teachers and such, tennis teachers, Japanese teachers, all sorts. So I feel like that was in the blood, right? And thinking back to when I was in school, I'm a student, yet I am teaching all of these people. I was tutoring just so many people, and all for free. It didn't even occur to me that this is something that you would charge for. After that, started sketching on subway of Toronto. Loved that. I would share my drawings, and then people would ask, hey, when are you going sketching next? Let me come with you. So then all of a sudden I started the Subway Sketch Group, right? And these are all things that everybody can do easily. So far, I've said 2 things, and both things anybody can do very easily. They could all teach somebody, even if you're a student, and you can all go out there and just sketch people. There's people everywhere. And if you have a subway, then that's even better, because people come on the subway and then they can't get off until the next stop, right? And so you have a certain amount of time to capture their likeness and things like that, and it's fun. But anyhow, that was another free idea. I didn't charge for this. I didn't even think to charge for this, because it's always been like, I just enjoy sharing the cool things that I learn, and I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. I want to share with everybody else, right? So I did that for 5 years, this Subway Sketch Group. It was called the Toronto Subway Sketch Group, and then later on, people started to make their own sketch groups and started to call it Bobby Chu's Istanbul Subway Sketch Group, Paris Subway Sketch Group, this and that. And it became insane, Stephen. I don't know if you knew, but it
I didn't.
Over 30 groups in the world.
Wow, no kidding.
Globally, right? And this is during a time where I don't even know if I knew you back then. So nobody knew of me. I was just starting off. So those people out there that are thinking, yeah, but Stephen, he has this many followers. Of course, if he does this, then it's going to work. What about me? I have 0 followers. Well, the thing that I want to let everybody know is that when you are trying to do good things, good ideas spread very quickly.
Yeah.
Free good ideas spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what happened. And did that for 5 years of my life. Every Sunday, I just meet whoever wants to meet up with me on the subways of Toronto, and I would teach them for free. And then we come to you, Stephen. For those of you out there that don't know of Stephen's earlier art books, I had this wonderful art book that I love, and I still have it, and it said, I think, my first sketchbook across the top. That was the title. And it was a comic book format, just, staple bound. And it was full of all this incredible art done in all sorts of different ways. A million different styles, a million different genres, everything. And that was my favorite art book. Who's this person? Who is this mysterious person that did this art book? It was this person named Steven Silver. Oh my God. I am going to New York Comic Con and he's coming. Holy smokes. And so that became like, we started off, I'm like one of your biggest fans, biggest admirers, of your work. And then Kay and I, we were like, oh, you go ask him for a portrait, and we were like all nervous and stuff. And then we ended up going up to you and asking for a portrait, and you're very nice to do an awesome caricature of both of us. And, years later, we pitched schoolism and all this stuff. In between, you were one of my groomsmen at my wedding, one of my best buddies in the whole entire world. And now we're doing LIGHTBOX EXPO. Now, what do all these things have in common? From schoolism, which for that, I wanted to learn from all of these awesome artists I want to learn from, right? Well, if I'm going to learn from these guys, well, what an opportunity for the rest of the world to get this same knowledge. And then it became, what an opportunity we have, because we're reaching the rest of the world, we're able to make it more affordable for everybody, right? And again, it's very much like for the art community. The only reason I charged this time was because we needed we can't create a business based off of the charity of awesome artists.
Right.
Right? Awesome artists are busy because they're awesome and they got a lot of stuff that they need to do.
Right.
And if we want this to really thrive, we need to appreciate the awesome artists by appreciating their time and their efforts. And then, of course, that made a lot of sense. If we can all kind of pay a little bit, that would be a great deal for us, and it would be a great deal for the artists. And, schoolism has been thriving ever since. Now for Lightbox Expo, because that was the original question, right? Well, you learn, great. What do you do then? Now that you have this knowledge, what do I do with it when I live in, some little town in Sri Lanka that has zero art industry? You go to a place where all the artists are, where all the studios are, where everybody is. And for me, I've been traveling the world with awesome artists like you for over 10 years now. Not just getting to know all of my favorite artists, but being very close friends, like very good friends with all these people. So I have their support, right? And this is over 10 years. And I'm a working artist, so I work with all the big studios from Pixar to Disney to Netflix to whatever. So I know them as well. Plus, I like business, which is very rare.
Right. But it's important, it's like having that mixture of that business sense. You got the art, you got the connection, you've molded all these things together and making it, yeah.
So it took a very specific kind of batch of ingredients to make this possible. And I felt like I didn't really know anybody else that had these very specific batch of ingredients.
Yeah.
I had the connections from the artists to the studios. We have the capital because of schoolism. And I also have an amazing partner, Jim DeMonacos, who created the Emerald City Comic Con, sold the Emerald City Comic Con when it had like 90,000, 100,000 attendees, and he had nothing to do. He was just looking.
Yeah.
Right? So then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, the next step that we need for the art community is a hub, is a place for all of us to gather, and for all of the companies that support artists that we need to know, for them to gather as well. How do we get them all together? Well, that was Lightbox Expo.
Yeah,
right?
And that's where you're tapping into the animation, the gaming, the illustration, live action. You're kind of hitting all these essential ingredients in what builds up this art industry, all under one roof, one table. That's where everyone's going to be for this.
You know what Voltron is?
Yeah.
It's like Voltron of the entertainment industry.
Right, yeah.
You got live action, you got costume design, you got video games, you got animation, everybody. They're all coming together. And why not? Because nowadays, as artists, and you know this, so many of us work not just in animation, right? Yeah. You got Craig Mullins that worked on Into the Spider-Verse, but then he also works in live action.
Yeah.
And then he also works in video games. And I work in a bunch of different things as well, and so on and so forth. So it makes perfect sense to have an event to bring everybody together, the whole entire industry, all the artists.
And it's going to be, it's just, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't know about it. Again, it just shows just when you committed to something, and that's the thing with what's also just so important, it's just the follow through. You just go, you start something, you follow through, you're making it happen. And can you tell people, what can they expect to really get out of Lightbox? I'm a young student, I'm up and coming, I might even be working in the industry, I'm going to Lightbox. What can I expect to find there?
Well, that is, get ready for a long answer because there's so many things. Number one is if you have a bad teacher, I think that is worse than having no teacher at all. Yeah. They can tell you this is right and it's totally wrong and you believe it, right? Well, good teachers have the opposite effect. That's number one. You have all the best artists in the world converging into one place. Hundreds of artists. People will be tripping over superstars, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Steven, I just stepped on your shoe." You know, so number one is this is the ultimate place to get real great feedback, really great information, really great knowledge and techniques and all sorts of things from your favorite artists behind your favorite stuff. Not only that, but we also have what we call the artist database. I don't know if you got the email. We'll send you the email if you didn't get it, Steve.
I did. Yep.
Perfect. The whole entire idea behind the artist database, again, is to help the artist community. How do we help the studios to find the artists that they're looking for, you know, in a better way? Well, one big thing is a face-to-face. You know, if anybody's hiring anybody and they're going to be staying at your studio working, you're going to want a face-to-face. Well, before the event happens, last week we told all the attendees about the artist database for them to upload their stuff. Not just attendees, but exhibitors and things like that. Like Tara Whitlatch is uploading her stuff. Craig Mullins is uploading his stuff. You know, you're uploading your stuff, I'm assuming. And so then all the recruiters, all the sponsors to the event, they will get access.
Great, yeah.
Right? And they will pick the people that they like, and kind of like art Tinder. You know, I like you, do you like me? Let's hang out, let's meet, and good things will happen. And that's what the artist database is. However, if you're an artist that put up your stuff and you didn't get any response, we still thought about you as well. You know, there's a whole entire section that that you're going to be a part of as well, doing 90-minute portfolio reviews. You're going
on the Sunday. That's on Sunday, right? Or is there going to be portfolio reviews every day, or is it happening
every day? Every day, all the time.
Great.
4 people reviewing portfolios throughout the event, and these are not just the ordinary bunch of people. These are like the top of the top people. You got people like the art director from MPC, if you want live action films, Mishi McKeag, who's Ian McKeag's daughter. You know, she's going to be doing reviews along with a bunch of her colleagues. You're going to be doing reviews. Luc Demarchelier is going to be doing reviews. Claire Howlett, the editor of Imagine FX, is going to be doing reviews, looking for people that she can feature in her magazine, right? Then we got a bunch of people from Wizards of the Coast, for those of you that are interested in Magic the Gathering and things like that. Perfect opportunities.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great. And on top of, you're going to have that, but on top of the non-stop demos going on, there was something you were telling me which is so awesome. I don't know, is it listed or written on the animal stuff that you're doing? Can you mention that?
So Friday afternoon, we were planning on bringing a golden eagle, a big giant golden eagle. Well, plans have changed slightly. We're bringing a golden eagle along with a turkey vulture together.
That is awesome.
Live.
Yeah.
And then our animal expert, Manny Carrasco, he will be pointing out and describing the differences between the two birds, which is what other? I don't. Think of another opportunity.
So bottom line, be prepared to draw when you come to this event too. You come in, not only you're going to be meeting people, you're going to be meeting artists that you've never even heard of, never even met before, even just people at different schools. But you're also going to be drawing a lot. You can go to these demos, you can go to these workshops, and you can just drawing all inclusive. Everything's just kind of all inclusive, right? You just kind of got the one ticket, you go in, and it's a free for all.
Exactly. And again, there's going to be a high level professional in there all the time, drawing with you, going around, looking at people's art, giving feedback. If you missed it on Friday, you missed the birds. Saturday, there's a wolf. There's a beautiful wolf named Journey coming to the event in the afternoon, and you'll be drawing a live wolf. And between all that, it's costume life drawing, which is awesome as well.
Right. You're just gonna have just every aspect, and so you have this all listed too, just on the programming on the site. So when people, again, I know there's gonna be people coming, and maybe it's gonna be. I almost feel like, when I talk to people, just the excitement that comes up, but the nervousness. Like I was just talking to someone today, and they're just like, man, I'm so excited to go to Lightbox, but I'm so nervous, just so many of these artists that I admire are going to be there. My advice to them is just, hey, listen, be prepared with questions. When you're coming to an event like this and you're going to meet, so you get to go on the Lightbox Expo, what is it, .com? Is that? Yeah, and lightboxexpo.com. You can go on there. You can see all the people that are going to come, but do some research, and I want to ask your opinion too, what you would advise people, but what I'm advising people is see who's going to be there. Maybe you're going to target, maybe you look at about 15 people you're going to go talk to that day, even though you're going to talk to many more. But again, knowing what sort of questions to ask, prepare yourself so that you're not so scared, so that you're not so nervous. Be open with make sure that I always suggest to people with portfolio, you're going to show your work. Just make sure that if it's not a actual book that you've put together with printed sheets, just make sure you're not just doing it on an iPhone or something. Have an iPad, make sure it's working. Make sure you're not showing people hundreds of drawings. Okay, be conscious of that. But what advice do you like to give to people, or would you give to a lot of the people, professional students who are coming to this event with portfolios?
Well, yeah, you covered a lot of them. I would add to that the opener. So recently I was at this event called FMX. If you ever get the chance, Steven, you should go. It's pretty cool. It's in Stuttgart, Germany. Anyways, I go there. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So then, because I'm kind of used to that, I start working on my opener, which I have not really had to really use. You don't really use an opener these days. Because the events that we go to, everybody kind of
they know who you are.
Yeah, so then I go up to people, hey, how's it going? I'm here totally alone. I don't know anybody. Have you guys been here before? And that was it. Just started off like that. Or if you came with another person and you're perhaps the braver, shyer one, or less shyer one out of the two shy people, then you just go over, hey, how's it going? Me and my friend, we're from such and such. We don't really know anybody here. Is this, like, are you guys local, or where are you from? That kind of thing. And you just kind of go like that. And once you get into rhythm, it's great. Then you go up to everybody. Yeah.
You just start talking to them. I think it's important too for even one artist to another, again, who's just starting out, going and saying, hey, what sort of art do you do, or do you like doing? And again, that opener, just starting with that one little hitch. And sometimes you're not going to get the response back. Sometimes you got to know when to bail from the conversation and just know this is like pulling teeth. This is going nowhere. You got to be able to, but hopefully in the networking aspect, because this is something that's very important too. It's just, and something that I wanted to talk about I think it's on the Friday, I'm doing an art talk panel. One of the things I wanted to tap into there was just preparing people for the networking aspect as well, but the importance of just, you have to have the confidence. Pete, you can't walk into this industry with a lack of confidence and be so shy and so afraid of people, because that's going to be a huge part of it. And maybe Lightbox will be a great place, in all honesty, to really say, you know what, for these 3 days, I'm going to step outside of my shell, so I even told this one guy, I said, I'm not sure what I should do preparing for this. I said, maybe even think about doing something distinctive. He had like a really cool beard. I'm like, maybe put like a stripe or something in your beard just for the 3 days, just so when you meet someone that you become memorable, like you recontact them a couple weeks later. Hey, I was the guy with the stripe in my beard, Oh yeah, I remember you, Just to try something. I don't know. I think it's going to be important. I just wanted to ask you too. So expect what people can expect. They're coming. They're going to be paying one price, getting in the door. It covers everything. You get to experience everything. You're going to be in 3 different halls there.
So there's we're utilizing 4 different buildings.
4.
Right?
Right on.
It is a very big event. So we have the biggest building, which is the exhibition hall. That's where you meet all your favorite artists. They'll all have tables and booths, as well as all the sponsors will have booths and such, all the best studios. And that building will also have our demo areas in their big hallways, as well as the biggest room, which is like a 840 person room. That'll be in that building. Then we have the second building, which is the conference center. That's a 2-story building, multiple rooms in there. That's where all the rest of the talks and demos and such will be happening in those rooms, in that building. Then we have the auditorium. Now this auditorium is like quite epic. We're only using one room in there for this time around, which is the golden room, and it's not the auditorium, but it's a nice sized room where we're going to be constructing booths for the different studios. And like I was saying, with the artist database, studios will be reviewing everybody's portfolios, and then they can click on you and book an appointment to meet up with you.
Great.
Right? So it's not necessarily an artist interview for a job.
Right.
Even though a bunch of artists or a bunch of studios will be looking for that. A lot of studios are more just interested in meeting you first, which doesn't mean like a job doesn't follow.
Right.
Right? That's how it usually happens.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The meetup.
Yeah.
So we're helping to make that happen.
That's great. This is where that confidence, come in professional attire. I'm not, don't come in a suit and tie, but don't come in, just looking
Sandal
like
socks.
Yeah.
Sandal socks at home.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Because it's like, listen, we're in an industry and in the real world where people unfortunately are judged like a book by its cover, and first impressions really do count. I mean, you can have that awesome portfolio, but if you come in like you haven't bathed for a couple days or something else and you look like a mess and just someone, crazy, it's like, first impression might make someone not want to talk to you, even though you might be the greatest person on the planet. So just maybe anyone showing up, just maybe consider that attire.
Totally. And especially like we're talking about networking as well, building your network of other artists. That's going to be a huge thing for a lot of attendees as well, because as you know, there's a lot of power in numbers, and there's a lot of motivation and support in numbers as well. You've always been a part of my network of artists, and because of that, I've been very thankful and always had the support I needed whenever I needed it. So that's going to be very important for attendees to do as well.
Yeah. And then what about like getting into, so amongst these other areas, you're going to have those 4 different halls. There's going to be, again, on the program, everything's sort of listed for the times for people to show up. What about like nighttime, evening sort of things? Do you have, what sort of things do you guys have planned for that?
Sure. Well, so the 4 different buildings, only 2 of them are going to be all access to the general public.
Got it.
Because that other one, I was saying, that one is specific for companies to create meetups with the other artists.
Right, great.
Right, and we're going to want that to be kind of exclusive so that good things can happen and good kind of relationships can form.
Great.
The 4th building is for all of our guests, because we have so many, like hundreds of guests. This is where it's like a peaceful building. They can take a break. Okay, so back to your question of what happens at night. Well, first, Saturday night, that's going to be the first time we're going to have the Concept Art Awards at LIGHTBOX EXPO, and that's going to be big, right? And that is going to be in our biggest room. It only holds 840 people, so that one is like first come, first serve to get into that show. And then I believe there's a couple studios, a couple companies that are working on get-togethers, parties, and such. But as well, there's going to be so many people coming from out of town.
Yeah.
You don't know this yet, but you know how conventions, they will book a deal or whatever with a certain hotel so that all the attendees can get a certain rate?
Yeah.
We've already gone through 4 hotels and they're all done.
Wow.
Now, I think we're on our 5th or 6th hotel now.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the cool thing about that is like there's going to be so many people that are coming in from out of town and want to do stuff afterwards.
Yeah. Everyone just kind of like hanging out everywhere. Yeah, because I know there's like right across the street from the convention center, there's like a whole sort of food place through there, right?
Yes.
There's like, I think there's bar. I mean, it's Pasadena. There's so much to do out there. There's so many cool
bars, restaurants, things like that.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff to do.
Yeah, that's going to be just fantastic. I mean, just all around. So kind of get there, and the doors are going to be opening at what time in each day?
So Friday the show starts at 12, but people will be able to pick up their badges, I believe, 2 hours in advance.
Okay, so around 10 o'clock they can...
Yeah, when you buy your ticket online, you get an email. You would bring that email into the convention center and trade it for a badge. Saturday, the doors open at 10. Or sorry, the first event starts at 10, and the doors for the exhibit hall open at 10. So everybody can start coming in. They could start arriving. We're expecting everybody to arrive at around 9.
Right, okay.
For Saturday. Then Sunday, same thing.
Okay, starting at the same. Okay.
Yeah, but the show starts at 10.
What would be your advice for people coming in? Like, how do you think they should plan their experience? You think should come in, get their program, start marking down all because I know there's going to be some overlapping panels, just in order just to make it all work and get all these things, and everyone has different interests. So there's always going to be something going on. I know that during the day, and you have that choice from 10 to 11 to go there. You got choice from 10 to 11 to go there. Of course, unfortunately, you may miss something, but the reality is, I think it's important just to mark it down, right? Would you suggest, hey, come mark down, start circling the ones, get your program together of all the events you want to attend, the workshops, the drawing sessions, the panels, go out into the dance floor. It is going to be a dance. It's going to be a big old dance out there, but go out onto the floor and then meet the artists. But that's what your kind of good suggestion.
For sure. It is a lot to take in. So, you're going to want to be organized. You'll still have a great time if you just come in and just kind of see what's up and just go do whatever, because all of these panels, all of these talks are very much like curated by a person that has been going to these talks and going to these panels and such for like 14 years.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. What else is there? We also have we mentioned the Concept Art Awards, right?
Yep.
That's going to be really great. Hopefully some sort of get together afterwards as well. Is there anything that you can think of that you're kind of excited about?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, I'm just excited about the whole, not only the idea of just all these different genres and forms of entertainment all under the same building and the same roof. I just love the fact of people being able to, again, it's like coming almost to like a San Diego Comic-Con where you can come and you can have, hey, I'm going to go to that panel, I'm going to go to that panel. There's going to be all this extra stuff. You just decide what it is you want to do. And you're going to go there and just knowing the lineup and knowing all the things that different people are going to be talking about there. You can have, I know, the life drawing room. That specific room that's just going to have the figure drawing, where I'll be teaching one of those amongst many other great artists. I think they're like hour sessions where, again, the thing is, be prepared to draw. I think I just know that people are going to walk into this and it's just the energy, the vibe, the feeling I mean, I'm already feeling it, and it's 2 weeks out. You know, it's just like I can feel that. I know what's going to happen, and I know just from talking to people and the way that they're reacting to it, and that's what you want. You want that good energy, you want that good response, and it's going to be there, and you're doing it right. And that's what it's so exciting about. It's like you've been in the industry for a long time. You've all these years, you've made all these connections with people, you have a lot of friends, and it's the Lightbox Love Festival, you know. It's just going to be, I just know that that's going to be, but what I'm excited about is just for people to go and truly learn and walk out of there at the end with just maybe an area of storyboarding and live action that they maybe didn't even think about. Maybe they were always thinking about just trying to get into television animation side, but you know, what about this whole live action side? What, you know, there's so many different areas, and just seeing all the different styles, and it's still got that genre. I like that, you know, it's not like Comic-Con where there's comic books and all, you know, it's not so spread out and people selling toys. It's not those sort of conventions. It's really got a purpose and a mission. And I think that's what I personally sort of like really appreciate about it, and I'm excited about, and I know that, you know, other people will too. So I just think if there's, anything you kind of want to just say in closing. I know we're only about 2 weeks away, September 6th through 8th, Pasadena Convention Center. It's the lightboxexpo.com. You can look at all the programming there right now. You can see all the attendees. You can start researching. You can start getting your portfolio together. But is there any final thoughts that you kind of wanted to share?
Sure. The word of this session is really, the word of the event is appreciation. You know, like I really appreciate the industry that I'm in, as well as the peers and the studios and the companies that support artists. This is my way of giving back. But as well, like, I want to create a space where it's like a lot of your viewers, they're artists, yet maybe they don't know who are the costume designers for Game of Thrones, even though that's their favorite show in the whole entire freaking world. Yeah. I want Lightbox Expo, and Jim, my partner, and I, we both want Lightbox Expo to be this place where you can hopefully appreciate those favorite things of yours even more. The games, the illustrations, the movies, the animation, and that you would hopefully create this new appreciation for the individuals that worked on these things, right? So it's all about appreciation. When you come to Lightbox Expo, have that in mind. Show your appreciation to the people that you feel you want to give that appreciation to, and vice versa. Because so many times we do think of these things and then we don't say them, right?
Yeah.
Let's make it a place where we can share this kind of stuff.
I love it. Beautifully said. Great way to finish this. Hope to see all you guys at Lightbox Expo. It's going to be awesome. Don't be afraid to approach people. Come up to people. Talk to people. Don't stand off. That's what it's there for. It's going to be a big event. Have fun. Bobby, thanks so much for your time. I know you're busy. It's getting close, you know, all the final little details, but thanks again for being here. And be sure to come up to Bobby and rub his head for him when you see him.
Great.
No, don't. Okay.
Well, I can't wait to see you there, my friend, and I can't wait for everybody to see what we've been up to, because we've been working real hard on this.
You have. Well, thanks a lot, Bobby, and we'll see all you guys at the Lightbox Expo. Take care. See ya. And I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to all of you that listen every week. To subscribe to my mailing list and stay updated on future workshops and events, please go to my contact at silvertoons.com and simply hit join mailing list. Until the next time, make it a great week, and thank you for listening.